Hey everybody, this is Matt with the Low Cash Homestead, and we are building a new grow system tonight. We're building this out of 5-inch K-style gutter. And some of the things that we're going to need for this is we're going to need some 2-inch PVC pipe, a cap. We have a 1/2-inch to 3/4 converter, piece of 1/2-inch pipe. You're going to need marker, tape measure, some duct tape. Believe it or not, for this build, you are going to need some Astroglide. Okay, and that's because we're going to have to lube this pipe up to get it through the grommet. You're going to need some silicone. We're going to need various cutting tools and squares, and then of course the parts for the gutter. Hey everybody, this is Matt with the Low Cash Homestead, and right behind what we see right here is one of my prototype grow channels right here. And what we're doing today is we're building another one. We're making this out of 5-inch K-style gutter. And so essentially what we've done so far is we've punched a 1-inch hole in here. We've added this little grommet, and then we're going to feed a siphon pipe through that, and I'll give you some details as we go along. But this is our second one, so basically our first one is going to drain into the second one will drain into the third will drain into the fourth, etc. So I'm going to show you the process as we build the system. Hey everybody, this is Matt with the Low Cash Homestead. So we're building our right side drain gutter prototype. We tested the left side drain one, it works great. So the left side is going to drain to the right side to the left side, etc. And these are going to just work their way down. So as our pump is pushing the water up, these bell siphons are going to force it to drain, and it's going to drain down into the next system. So what we've done is we put our hole in. That's a 1-inch hole. We added our grommet. We cut the 10-foot section of this K-style, 5-inch K-style gutter. We cut this down to 8 foot 6 inches, because that's the length of the mount space that we currently have. And basically this system is replacing a much bulkier system, and we're going to basically just reduce the profile of the system here. We have our caps on. We filled the channels and the caps with silicone, and then I put a silicone bead on. The way you're going to see that in this light, if I step over here, we put a silicone bead all around the inside there, and so we have both ends attached. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to install this little siphon port, which is basically just going to push right down through that rubber grommet, and we're going to put our 5.5-inch micro flat down in there like that, and that's going to give us the depth of how far we want to push this little fitting in. Okay, so what we've done is we've added our little siphon port right here, and this one sits just a little bit over 1/8 of an inch above the height of this micro flat. And what that's going to do is, as the water comes through, it's going to allow these micro flats to wick the water up until the pressure builds up in the bell siphon, allowing the air pressure to suck that water out. So here's a shot of our siphon. Then we put our air pressure chamber on there, and we glued that in with some silicone. We're going to let that let that harden, and in the meantime we're going to put some duct tape over it just to keep it in place while the silicone cures. What we're doing on this channel is we have to mount lighting to the bottom of the channel, and to do that we're going to use these little T5 mounting clips. They actually work pretty well. They don't look like they would, but they actually do. And we're going to do this part by hand. So we're going to have our 6500s as well as our 3000. So we'll have a 6500 and a 3000, and that's going to work its way down. This is an 8 foot 6 inch channel, and so we're going to have 2 sets of 4 foot lights mounted onto the system. That is the top grow bed, and so the lighting for that is actually mounted above it. For everything below that, we have to mount the lighting onto the channels. And so what we've done is we've taken some Tech screws, and we have just mounted all the little clips for these lights here. So we're going to have a 6500K light, we'll have a 6500K light here, and then we'll have a 27 to 3000K light here, and that will continue down for each of the consecutive systems below the first. So for everyone below the first one, the lighting will have to be on the bottom. So what we're going to have to do next is we're going to have to go through and seal all the penetrations that we made. Hey everybody, this is Matt with the Low Cash Homestead. So all the penetrations that I made to put the mounting brackets for the lights into the bottom of this gutter, we just went through and sealed all of that with some silicone. And what we'll do next is we're basically just gonna flip this thing over, put a little bit of sealant right here. Flip this over. I'm gonna put a little bit of sealant right around this rubber gasket where this PVC downpipe extends from the siphon. And then this project will have to sit and cure for at least a day. This is Matt with the Low Cash Homestead. Thank you very much.